Hello everybody, Anthony here from the Hamer Game Channel. Welcome back to my Combined Syndicates of America playthrough, where today we're starting the second Constitutional Convention focus, and I have decided which way I'm going to go. Now, I did take everyone's comments into consideration, but I have decided that I am not going to be doing the CIA takeover, and instead there's going to be a bonus episode at the end of this playthrough that will basically just be maybe a longer episode, maybe like 40 minutes or longer, just a one-off episode of me going through it. But I did say when the mod was brought to my attention that I would do Smedley's Butler's America. So we're going to be going for him. We could also have Nicholas Fury in charge as well, which would be great. But we are going to be going down the totalist side. So apologies to everyone who wants to see something else. I might come back and do some more on this with the back end. The USA mod. But yeah, medium tiny destroyers. I've decided to bugger off with them really and just focus elsewhere. So we are still in Asia, we need to remember that. Well, I need to remember that rather. So I'm going to go and head back out there and see what we can get up to while we wait for our focuses to complete. It's going to be another episode of me just chatting bollocks for 40 minutes. Of course I am kidding. Well, I'm not, probably. If for some reason the avant-garde film, I would read that, but it just gives us political power. I'm so glad that they are cut off, these divisions. Really are helping out the Fengshan government really nicely. They might actually win this. Well, I'd like to think they will win this. I just can't believe how thick the Shangxing Tiango is. And the Dominion of India being whole as well. It's 1941. The Union of Britain's dying. So yeah, basically probably just going to take out the Entente and maybe secure South America. The Germans I'm going to leave alone. We're not going to have, you know, any issues with one another, so I'll just leave them alone. I might possibly... If we take out the French Republic, I might go ahead and take over, you know, the Cairo Pact. Maybe try and push into India, because we're probably going to have to take India out. Actually, no, the Entente's going to dismantle, hopefully, when Canada dies. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to go after the French. Not the French, the Germans. I'll just confirm that now. I will not be going after them. Because I've went after them far too much recently, and it's nice that the Danube Federation playthrough and also this playthrough, if we just don't go for them, really. I think it's a nice change. Oh my gosh, so the Japanese divisions got absolutely butchered up there. They have 30 divisions max. Peace deal time. It is peace deal time. Now, Family Code of 1941. Syndicalism goes up, the stability goes down. Where's the peace deal? Oh no. Why did you join the Third International? Excuse me. I'm sure I've already had this. Oh no, I think it's. Oh right, doesn't matter. Ignore what I'm saying. Venezuela's joined the Adan Pact. Oh, we're gonna have a faction war in the south. Very nice. Of course, I am gonna try and get Mexico to join up with me in an alliance, because we do have. Yeah, there's no point going down the Third International route. Like, what the hell's the point? Just ignore that little squeak. Yeah, friendship with Mexico, we'll do that. Then obviously we'll take up Canada. I don't know why the Russians have joined the Third International, but they have, so we're going to have to wait until they die. Which is, I'm fine with. We can just focus on helping take down the Japanese. Looks like the Philippines are coming to their aid. Fengshan government, I could do with you pushing. Yes, and then I can back you up wherever you're pushing. See? This is good. This is good. We're putting Japan in their place. Although they have got Port Arthur still. But if we can secure Korea, which it looks like the majority of the divisions defending it are actually the Philippine divisions. Okay. Douglas MacArthur is in charge. And, okay. Well. This is part of the back in the USA mod, definitely. So we can deal with Guam. MacArthur demands Guam. Pressure Hawaii. Join Japan, join Canada. Strike Hawaii. Canadian concessions. This will lead to war with the pretenders on the continent. Gets event declaration of war. Okay, stab in the back. Get cores. Oh, the land. Okay. This is very interesting. I was going to say, I was like, why the hell is MacArthur in charge? He has a decent number of divisions, so he may be a pain in our arse, actually. Just like he was during the Civil War. Fantastic. Probably actually put more effort into both of these rather than artillery. Artillery never seems to be a problem. Anti-tank likes to be one recently. Prisons overflowing with reactionaries. Execute the traitors of high standing. That does increase totalism, so let's go ahead and do that. Pushing them back here. Probably just try and concentrate my forces more and just try and push for the port. So once that's gone, happy days. Second question. Oh, it's been completed. And it does settles. Let's get rid of war communism. Because it is hurting our stability. Well, helping our military construction speed. Do you know, let's just leave it. Oh, there goes Jack Reed. Thank you very much for your aid during the Civil War, but now he's gone. We need to get the Busan. Which again, looks like it may be harder than what I would like it to be. If the Fengshan government just continue to push, I think we're good. Because, well, they're doing well. Right, I'll lead these because it's part of that focus we just done. The EFL has made a splash in what many had expected to be a landslide victory for the IWW. What was supposed to be an easy article, that of the new legislative branch, has drawn a line in the sand. The IWW representatives argue that America should be a strictly anarcho-syndicalist government with all legislative vested in the industrial trade unions. These unions seek to abolish membership fees and elect representatives via wall-to-wall bargaining unit elections. The EFL argues that America should be a socialist state with power vested in local councils of professional workers. The EFL claims that representatives would be elected via seniority, with full voting rights given to only citizenry that have spent some years paying dues and serving their fellow man. TUUL representative William Foster spoke in favour of the IWW, stating seniority and paying to vote is no different than graft, which is something a vanguard of syndicalism cannot support. Foster's impassionate speech, if it leads to the IWW's legislation passion, should signal a shift in support for the TUUL over the IWW. Well, we're going to get the totalists gain an edge into the convention because that's who we're wanting to take over. Because obviously we want we want the Union of Socialist American States rather than the Commonwealth of America. So we're going to become the United Socialist States of America, regardless of what we choose there, but I just want the totalists in charge. Socialist Constitution Framework. Article 1. All power in America derives from the people and belongs to the people. The people exercise state power through local trade union councils, which constitutes the political foundation of America. Local trade union councils are not permitted to deny membership due to the ability to pay or on the basis of pre-existing conditions. All other state bodies are under the control of and accountable to the All-Industrial Congress. Article 2. Trade union councils are to act as wall-to-wall bargaining unions in the All-Industrial Congress, wherein all the representative organs of a state authority are elected by the citizens on basis of universal, equal, and direct suffrage by election. The people's representatives in all organs of state authority are responsible to their electors. It will be determined by law in which cases, under what conditions, and in what way the electors may recall their representatives, even before the end of the period for which they were elected. Article 3. No law or administrative or local rules and regulations shall contravene the Constitution. All state organs, the armed forces, all political parties and public organisations, and all enterprises and undertakings must abide by the Constitution and the law. All acts of violation of the Constitution and law must be investigated by the All-Industrial Congress. No organisation or individual may enjoy the privilege of being above the Constitution and the law. Approved! Boom. Getting that political power, which is good. 2.36 a day. Oh my days. Right, we've got Article 6. Citizens are guaranteed the freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom of assembly, the freedom to hold public meetings and demonstrations, freedom of conscience and freedom of religion are guaranteed to citizens. Citizenship is defined as all Americans living legally within America during the time of ratification of the Constitution. The Church and the state are not obligated to adhere to each other's authority. Article 7. Women have equal rights with men in all fields of state, economic, and in social political life. Women have the right to collectively bargain as men do for the same work, and as workers or employees they enjoy special protection. The state reserves the right to pay an equivalent wage up to 20 hours of work a week to mothers before and after childbirth. Citizens of America are guaranteed inviolability of the person. No one may be arrested except by a court decision or on the warrant of a procurator. Sorry, I got distracted by my phone there. Citizens of America are guaranteed inviolability of the home. No one may, without lawful grounds, enter a home against the will of the with those residing in it. Article 9. The state promises working people the right to associate and organise themselves to collectively bargaining units. The state protects persons' dignity of labour from exploitation by private enterprises, ensuring the right to paid annual holidays by controlling worker conditions, by devoting attention to housing conditions and social insurance. Approved! Please be no more. Oh, okay. The IWW has made a strong impression for removing the Supreme Court as the final appeal for constitutionality, instead making the appellate courts carry the weight. Reminding members of the convention of the court's track record for legalising oppression of unions and downright reactionary laws, Elizabeth Gurley Flynn remarked the preserving an elected position of the final legal decision could lead to authoritarianism, which we do not want. To the surprise of many, Errol Browder of the TUUL, dissented, arguing that this discrimination was a result of a corrupt party system and not an inherent flaw in the US Constitution. To Browder, removing the Supreme Court would endanger the unity of the nation and lead to more schisms as had happened in the Soviet Union. The FL have quietly dissented with their vanguardist cohort and pledged to support Flynn and her resolution passes. Syndicalists are not gaining. The Supreme Court will not be missed. I'm sorry. Goodbye, Supreme Court. So long, farewell. Oh, for Pete's sake, more articles, really? Article 15. The foundation of the economic system of America is socialist ownership of the means of production in the form of public property belonging to all the people and collective cooperative property. Article 16. All mineral and other wealth in the ground, the waters, including mineral and medical waters, the sources of natural power, the means of rail and air transport, the posts, telegraphs, telephones, and broadcasting are public property. Article 17. The land belongs to those who cultivate it, the property of collective farms and other cooperative organisations, and of their joint undertakings. Comprises the means of production and other assets which they require for the purposes laid down in their rules. The land held by collective farms is secured to them for their free use in perpetuity. Article 18. Private property and private initiative in economy are guaranteed. The inheritance of private property is guaranteed. The right of inheritance is regulated by the state. No person is permitted to use the right of private property to detriment of the people's community. The existence of private monopolist organisations such as cartels, syndicates, trusts, and similar organisations created for the purpose or repurposed for dictating prices is forbidden. Monopolising the market and damaging the interests of the public economy is forbidden. Private property may be limited or expropriated if the common interests require it, but only in accordance with the law. It will be determined by law in which cases and to what extent the owner shall be compensated. Under the same conditions, individual branches of national economy or single enterprises may be nationalised by law if the common interest requires it. Approved! My days, the reading is a lot. When will it finish? We have so much political power. Oh, right. Status of the President. A surge of unaligned delegates has attempted to leave for recess several times to no avail. It appears that the issue of executive power has met an impasse, and a decision must be made before the delegates starve in indecision. On one side is the IWW. The plan for a totally anarcho-syndicalist government requires there not to be an executive officer. Their belief is that the President is inherently reactionary populist position, and they will ensure that a person like Huey Long can never rise to power in the new America. Thomas suggests a weak head of state position. The opposition is another cooperation of the AFL and TUUL who wish for a strong face to represent America. A leader with little means, argue they, could never save America as Reid did without power. Norman Thomas has condemned the AFL for what he sees as a bloginous coup perpetrated by the AFL and TUL to revive the old federal government. John L. Lewis of the AFL rises to object, saying subordination to the IWW programme is no different than a single-party state. Well, totalists, a president with power we shall have. Hell yeah we will. Oh, we've actually pushed forward. Good. Oh my days, centralisation or decentralisation? The convention, after resuming, has found themselves more divided than ever. The core of the IWW has galvanised into a stricter dogma that pushes for the remaining articles to protect against tyranny of a central government, demanding protection for the lifetime assurance of union membership and compounding social security with lifelong employment. Several IWW delegates had implied that the AFL has been antagonistic and would prefer a return to capitalism. In response, the AFL have been swayed by TUUL to emphasise the dignity of labour and government. This argument rebukes industrial unionism with craft unionism, where the right to fair wages for fair work done replaces the IWW's goal of the abolition of wages. Browder again takes the stage calling to protect craft unionism, as it prevents the tyranny of the 51% of the 49% in union elections. Dignity of labour will stop tyrants. Poink. That's what we're going for. And we're also going to continue to concentrate our forces on a single area. Socialist Constitution Capital. One of the last things to be decided is the capital of America. While many are advocating for the Washington DC as a capital, as it was the old capital and it easily fits the purpose, others are advocating the loyal cities of Chicago, Philadelphia and New York City. Which shall the convention choose? I'm kind of feeling Chicago. I am kind of feeling Chicago. But I'm going to go with Washington DC. It's not flipped back yet. Right, moves capital of Maryland. Fantastic. The Constitutional Convention has concluded. The Constitutional Convention has finally come to an end and the Constitution of America has been written. Delegates are returned to home states with a new set of allies and rivals. Despite the optimism expressed in the congratulatory photos, the real work of rebuilding the country has just begun. Long live the workers of America. Boom! Washington is now the capital and I can stop bloody reading, hopefully. Syndicalists are still in charge, but the Totalists, the Trade Union Unity League, has really got popularity now. The interim president. Who do we want? Oh, well, I'm sorry, but it's not going to be you. You're gone in a second. Do I want Foster or Browder? I think I'm going to go Foster, because I'm sure if people said Foster first, then I'm going to get Smeedley. Smeedley Butler. Current ruling party is paternal autocrats. How the hell did I change to that? Well, I don't know how we change back, but we shall see. Right, we're going to go for Fosters. So, on the final day of the Congress, John Silas Reid, better known as Jack Reid, announced that he would step down as leader of the country. Oh, he stepped down, he doesn't die. Rumours of his deteriorating health were kept away from the press, a gentleman's agreement of sorts, so he is dying. Jack Reid proclaims he will spend his remaining time with his wife Louise and his daughter. Moreover, Reid emphasised his role was to see the country through to the revolution, but a new leader needs to lead it now. Of the attendees at the Congress, two have gained the most prominence. One is Earl Browder, nope, not happening, currently Secretary of Communications, who has taken his allies for state-planned economy and has begun advertising his own campaign on state media. The other is William Z. Foster, a major force in the Constitutional Convention for getting the AFL to advocate centralism, who has called in his connections for his campaign. There's an understanding that even though this position of leadership is in term until the election, it still will allow either president to exert a great deal of influence over the country's groundwork. William Z. Foster gets enough to win the votes. Boom, let's do this and become... There's Foster. Let's go ahead. Up, president election 1941. Fanfare, as expected, William Z. Foster is in the lead, but as the government has promised a fair and open election, it is anyone's guess who will win after debates and all the campaign is done, who will emerge victorious in 1941. Congratulations, William Z. Foster. Oh gosh. Well. Gosh dang it. What is this bollocks? What the hell? We're back here again. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to go syndicalism, which has flipped us over to that. Boom. Please take us back. Oh, thank... What the hell, though? Why did it come up? We can't have 2 elections. We're presidential election now complete. It's time for the separate election for the General Secretary of the National Council of People's Deputies. Who shall become the next General Secretary? Me. Right, we can actually do this now. Thank you, game. Right, we still have some land to take. Oh, yeah, New England. Ah, New England. Never have I ever seen you before. Foster's second in command. Who shall we have? You... Oh, I thought it was... I don't know, who I thought that was there. Your factory output plus 8 in daily political power game. Not terrible. Political power game, but the 15 construction speed for military factories. You guys are just... What do we make right now? That's fine. We can take them. Yeah, we'll take them. We'll take them. We'll take them. I'm having them. Like, that military construction speed is just... Boom. If we get rid of Steve Nelson... To this guy. Dead. We're back over 1. There we go. Happy days. Right, so we do have... War communism we're going to keep right now. It is kind of hurting us. Stability and war support and daily power gain and also civilian construction speed. But now we've got plus 35 speed on the, you know, military factory. And if we go in here actually and grab, which is ever the best, well, that's another 15. So that's plus 20, 15, and 15. So that is 50. Happy days. Happy days. We'll take that. Don't know what this decision is. Okay, that broke. It broke. Okay. But anyways, back to Asia since we're not really doing much. It really is the Philippines that's holding this for Japan right now. I'm just hoping they don't like hold enough that like Japan has 13 to 15 divisions. I'm hoping they're going to be coming straight around to try and secure Korea now because that's secured. Port Arthur's still holding, but they should be able to blitz their way through that. I'm just trying to get down to Busan because I can actually have 1 division stop each of the way there. Look at those military factories go. Oh, look at that. United Socialist States of America. We are beautiful. Oh, right, we can do that regardless. I see. Right, anyways, let's go ahead and do this. Foster's economic policy. Replace economic devastation for the Civil War with Foster's economic policy, which gives us 5, 5, and 5. Nice, so that's going to leave them all in 10, 10, and 10. Well, minus 10, 10, and 10. Well, minus 10, minus 10, and minus 10, rather. Gosh. Explain that was terrible. Well done. Right, do we want to go to work on me? We cannot, because we can't. The Family and Freedom Program. Gosh, so much reading. Our workers in the factories need to be free from distractions. Our revolutionary soldiers must not be burdened with unnecessary worries about the well-being of the family. Part of the program to ensure that the American worker is relieved of responsibilities which President Foster has termed a milestone about the neck of the workers. Today, the first train from Chicago to the rural plains and centre of our country has left with children from mothers and fathers who work in important positions in the industrial heartland. The kids will be safe on the countless fields and ranches and the pastures, making themselves useful in farm labour and running errands, living a healthy life. This frees their parents to wage revolution with all their hearts and energies. With the success of the first train, Foster proposed to his cabinet making this a mandatory arrangement throughout the USAS, even going so far as to propose that children be taken by force from more stubborn working families for their own good. Whoa, 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 whoa. We are talking him down. That just seems like too much, mate. Just a little bit too much. Just ever so slightly. Just ever so slightly. Don't know how we get military communism. Current ruling parties, paternal autocrats. Joint Chiefs of Staff is current leader. Butler's coup is there. I don't know how we get to it. I'm hoping I'm doing it right so far. So if I am doing it wrong, someone can tell me right now. I don't think we need to go for that. We could go for, yeah, let's go for the M1 carbine. Just why not? It's just a shame that Third International literally sucks. Like, just sucks, really. Primer of God Save Billy King. Today Charlie Chaplin has premiered another movie titled God Save the Kaiser, which has quickly received glowing reviews within the press. God Save the Kaiser is a political, satirical comedy drama and Chaplin's first true film. The film follows two principal characters, an unnamed German barber struggling to make ends meet in Germany, who bears a great deal of similarity with the tramp that Chaplin played in his other movies. The other major character is King Billy, who's a cruel but ineffective buffoon of a leader, an obvious satire of Kaiser Wilhelm II. Throughout the film, it shows the plight of the average German worker while viciously mocking the German government and the Kaiser in particular. The film ends with the barber being mistaken for King Billy and giving a rousing speech where he extols the virtues of good, will, and human brotherhood, and gives a strong endorsement for Chaplin's socialist views. Chaplin has outdone himself. Gosh, Kaiser Wilhelm II's dead at this point. That's probably not something that they'll take very lightly, but oh well. Do you know what we should really be doing as well back home? We should be making divisions. Maybe not that many at a time, but we should be, we can be making 6 at a time. Because we need to kind of beef ourselves up. The Canadians aren't strong, I don't think. Well, they're decently strong, but we should still be able to cakewalk them because we don't have the naval invade. Naval invasions always kind of not go great all the time. How's it going over here? The Philippines really are the one that's stopping us from doing anything over here. Saying that, Japan has got some more divisions over here. Mainly because that's the only front they've really got going for them. They have just landed, I think. Nope, they're attacking Shanghai. They failed. I think Shanghai government just need to go all in. They just need to go all in. Just bring everybody over here and just slaughter their way to Busan. Busan falls, they fall. Because they'll be stuck. They'll be absolutely screwed. That's why I'm just trying to force my way down. I don't think I can send any more volunteers. Can I send air volunteers, please? Thank you. Is that the closest airfield? Oh, for Pete's sake. Let me just grab some planes. We can send 420. What we'll do is we shall take 309 of you and 100 of you. It's 409 planes. We can definitely get air dominance in Korea now. Right. That's an interesting move forward, but spread out, please. Foster economic policy is done. So I might actually just go ahead and do the next step and just see if we can get the friendship with Mexico right now. Because that's not hindering us too much. It's only minus 10s. I can deal with that. Yeah, we're starting to break them here. Costa Rica is attacking Panama. The Catholic Workers Movement. Well, a good number of religions have protested the effects of the revolution. That is not true for all groups. Of these groups, the one that has attracted the most attention and popularity recently, the Catholic Workers Movement. Led by Comrade Dorothy Day, the movement has attracted popularity for combining Catholicism and with socialist values. They focus on the concept of works of mercy, as well as have built a number of hospitality houses in many major cities and even smaller towns. The hospitality houses are acting as support shelters for those trying to return to civilian life now that the revolution has come to fruition. Well, that's nice. Okay. Cut in here. Can we actually swing around? If we just ease up a little. I was just pushing down the coast because it was the most direct route. Now it's not, really. I'm hoping we can screw MacArthur over by killing those divisions. How many has he got now? He's got a decent number, like. Oh, they're encircled. And our fighters and CAS is probably really helping us out, actually. Air support. What's air support doing for us? Is it not going to tell us? Don't know, but we're not winning right now, which is not great. Enemy air superiority, minus 17%. Woohoo! Actually, get your ass down here and cut them off. Gosh, the fall Korea is going to actually finish off Japan for this. Australia's landed over here. Interesting place to land for them, but then again, thinking just saying that out loud there. It's actually not that stupid. Although Siberia is terrible to push through, but you know what? It's a nice distraction. If they can hold it, good for them. Hoping we can just cut off the port. Ace generation chance, air superior mission efficiency. I'm going to go with that. You get plenty enough aces anyways if you've got a decent bit of air superiority. Or I think that's the case anyways. I'm going to really focus on building up planes. Just for absolutely destroying Canada. I actually use some of my experience when we get up to the next levels of planes, which I might actually look to see if that's close. Grapes of the Wrath premiere. Today the film Grapes of Wrath premiered in theatres today. The film is based on the book of the same name. It follows the Jode family from Oklahoma and their troubles during the Depression prior to the Revolution. It does deviate from the book with the ending on a much more hopeful and optimistic tone and shows the family working to help out with the revolution overthrow their California work camp. The film has been well regarded by both critics and the public as a necessary edit. +5 political power. Right, let's have a wee look at planes. We have actually got the Warhawk and Banshee. I'm going to get the Seawolf. What we're going to do is we're going to hop in here. It's going to be a while before we do anything to them, so... It's up reliability, the engine and attack. Reliability by 2, that's 130. And then... So we shall switch you up to the A1. Fighter 2. Go with reliability and do all them. Yeah, we'll do that. Then we'll get the A1 class in as well. Sorted. And surely there is AP steel coming. There it is. What? I really don't think Japan. Syndicalist ethics. With the onset of a new society, a new set of ethics must take the place of the old ones. What's truly ethical behaviour? Waging revolution by all means. Before the revolution and during the war, life was hard for our fellow Americans. Many had to suffer the loss of a loved one, life-threatening financial insecurities during the crisis years of persecution. This led to behaviour the old society may have deemed wrong or sinful. For a brave President Foster must look beyond traditions. Those whose souls suffer too deep an injury to carry on, must allow them to phase out. Despite our censorship of the daily worker, massive protests by Christian worker unions, and whatever that is, and community support networks claim that Foster's suicide law is merely a pretense to excuse mysterious deaths and disappearances. The more conspiratorial writers even claim this is a plot by Foster to legalise murder so long as it looks like suicide. Foster's cabinet has called him to reconsider, but the ultimate result was Foster backs down. Foster's going to back down. He's got some very weird views, like power struggle within the ranks. William J. Foster and L. Brother have long viewed each other as the enemy to the people, but just as much as stepping block to their own power. As the revolution has come to an end, their struggle has taken on new heights. How this shall end is hard to say, though some are fearing that will happen should the other be deposed. This could be bad. Oh no. Well, we have a new tank to put in production, and I think I'm going to leave that episode there. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I know we really haven't done too much except from still continuing to recover from the Civil War, and well, just a lot of reading. I hope you enjoyed anyways, and I shall be back very soon for some more. Take care. Cheerio, bye, now.